Good morning everyone. Welcome to our swimming specific Totalsports class. We're doing swimming, strength and conditioning and prehab. My name is Ciara and I'm a biokineticist here at the Sports Science Institute with the High Performance Department. And we're going to get started. So the equipment you need for today is an elastic band and then two sort of smaller weights. So if you have 1 to 3 kg dumbbells, or you can replace it with water bottles that are filled up or tins of food. And then a water bottle and a sweat towel. And then if you have any injuries or any niggles, please don't do an exercise if it does aggravate them. Aggravate the injuries, just modify it or leave that exercise out. Okay, we're going to get started. So just a nice easy march on the spot for the warm-up. Okay, then you're going to march those knees up a bit higher. Okay, then you're going to go into a jog on the spot. Okay, nice and easy, letting the legs loosen up. And then going to some back kicks. Okay, easy jog again. Okay, then you're going to do 10 jumping jacks. And easy jog. And relax. Okay, standing on the spot, you can hold on to something if you need to. You're going to do 10 swings forward and backward with your legs. Okay, other side. Okay, then across the body as well. Okay, on both sides. Okay, then 10 chest openers, so just swing those arms open and close. Keep them quite loose. And then 10 swings up and down on each arm. Good. Okay, then you're going to pop your hands on your shoulders and you're going to do alternating circles forward with each arm. Okay, 10 on each side and then moving over to 10 backwards on each side. Good. Okay, then we're going to go into a plank position. If you have a mat or something soft to work on the floor, you can go up to that. In the plank position, push your hips back into a plank, pull your heels down to the floor, so you can feel the back of your legs stretching. Should be mostly your calves, possibly into your hamstrings. And then striding forward, try to keep that back leg straight, and you want to get your right foot as close to your right hand as possible. We're going to alternate sides, doing 5 on each side. Okay, then stay in that plank position. You're going to push back into a pike. Take your right hand to touch your left foot. You're going to alternate sides, also doing 5 per side. Good. Okay, then rolling onto your back. You're going to bring knees up into a 90-degree bend position. Try to keep the knees and ankles together. Arms are out to the side for support. And you're slowly going to roll over to one side as far as you can manage while keeping both shoulders on the floor. And then using abdominals and obliques to pull the knees back up, rolling over to the other side. Okay, so you're going to do 5 on each side, nice and slow and controlled. Good. Okay, then grabbing behind the one knee, or behind one thigh. Keep the toes pulled back. You're going to do 5 slow kickbacks. Five fast ones. And then 5 with a straight leg. Okay, other side. Five slow, 5 fast, and 5 with a straight leg. Good. Okay, then last one. You're going to go over, you're going to sit back into your child's pose position. Okay, so hips back onto the feet, arms stretched forward, and then coming up and forward into a cobra. And you're going to do 5 of each, holding for about 2 seconds in each position. Good. Okay, we're going to get started. So for the first set, you're just going to need your band, but not for the first exercise, so just have it close by. So first set's going to be a bit of an activation set. So we're going to start off in a 4-point kneeling position, hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, and then you're going to extend the one leg out behind you. So your toes resting on the floor. You want to keep your hips nice and stable, so don't let the one hip drop down or the one hip open up too much. Back is staying dead still and straight, so make sure the core is engaged. And using the glutes and hamstrings, we're just going to lift that foot up from touching the floor to hip height. Okay, you're going to do 10 of those. Okay, change over to the other side. Good. Okay, then you can grab your band, and either standing or kneeling, it doesn't really matter. You can do band pull apart, so holding the band out in front of you at shoulder height. Okay, make sure there's a bit of tension in the band already, and then you're going to pull the band towards your chest. Keep those shoulders pulled down away from your ears, so don't let them crunch up. And keep the hands at shoulder height as well. 10 of these. Good. Okay, then back into our 4-point kneeling position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're lifting opposite arm and leg up to shoulder height and hip height, but keeping the core and back still and controlled. Okay, and you want to keep that neutral spine in the back, so don't be tempted to arch your lower back just to get your leg up higher. Okay, it just needs to go to hip height. Okay, doing 5 per side. Okay, then we're going to do one more set of each, so you can stay in this position, and we're going to go over to our hip extensions. Okay, 10 per leg. Good. Okay, and then into your band pull parts. Ten of these. Remember, you want to keep those shoulders pulled down away from the ears. Good. Okay, and then last set of your bird dog, opposite arm and leg moving up and down. Good. Okay, grab some water if you want to. I'm going to start explaining the first set. And for this first set, you're going to need an elevated surface, so just a nearby chair or couch. I'm going to be using this step. And then the second thing you're going to need is your weights. Okay, so whatever weight you have nearby, you're going to grab those. Okay, so for the first exercise, you're going to be doing split squats. So you're going to use that elevated surface and you're popping back foot up onto the step, whole chair, whatever you've got, and then front foot is out in front of you. Make sure you've taken a big enough step so that when you do go down into your split squat, you don't feel cramped. So you'll see if I was here, it would be very cramped. So you don't want to be too cramped. You want to have enough space for the knees to move. Okay, and then also make sure that that front knee moves in the same direction that the toes are pointing. So don't let your knee collapse in or out. Okay, we're doing 6 per leg of these. Getting nice and low, and then driving through the glutes to stand up. Good. Okay, so other leg. Okay, and then remember that front knee shouldn't be moving over the toe either, so make sure you've got enough space to keep that knee above the ankle. Okay, then you're going to grab your weights. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to be doing frontal lateral raises, so you're alternating between the two. So what's going to happen, palms facing down the whole time. You're going to lift one hand up to the front, one out to the side to shoulder height, control back down, and then switch. Okay, so those are frontal lateral raises. You're also doing 6 per side, alternating between those two. Okay, so you go. Okay, and remember you're lifting with slow and controlled movement. Don't just let momentum take over, because it'll end up being a swing. And the last one. Good. Okay, and remember also you want to keep a slight bend in the elbows the whole time, so don't let your elbows stay locked out. Okay, then the last exercise is a core exercise. You're going onto your back. Okay, hands are behind the head, and remember this is just for support. You're not lifting your hands up with your hand, or lifting your head up with your hands and pulling through like that. So keep your elbows in your periphery vision, and then using your upper abdominals to lift the chest up. Okay, and then from there, knees are coming up to tabletop position, and you are going to take the legs straight down, hovering just above the floor, and alternate like that. Okay, we're doing 6 per side as well. Keep that chest up nice and high. And 6. Good. Okay, up you get. So we're doing 3 sets of those 3 exercises. So grab some water in between if you want. And then when you're ready, start your second set. Okay, and then you also want to make sure for this one that that back foot is in line with that same hip, and the front foot is in line with the same hip. So you don't want to be in a position where you kind of cross over like that or in one line, because you're going to feel very wobbly. Okay, so just make sure that you are in line with that. Okay, 6 per leg. Okay, switching sides. Okay, then you can grab your weights. Remember 6 per side of the frontal lateral raises as well. And you're keeping palms facing down, the slight bend in the elbows. Good. Okay, and into our crunches with the leg extensions. Okay, so remember hands are just there for a little bit of support. 6 per leg. And 6. Good. Okay, have a sip of water, and then we've got one last set. Okay, so into our split squats again. Okay, make sure you've got enough space to move and knee running in the same direction as the toes. Good. 6 per leg. And 6. Okay, and you can grab your weights. 6 each of these as well. Remember, in this position as well, you want to keep a slight bend in the knees, kind of athletic stance while you're standing there. Okay, and then last one is our crunch again. This is the last set of the crunch. And 6 per side. Good job. Okay, that's our first set done. You don't need your step or chair anymore, so I'm just going to move mine out of the way. Grab a sip of water and then we're going to start the next set. Okay, and for this next set, all you need is your bands. So just grab a hold of those. Okay, so I'm going to start explaining so you guys can still relax. You're going to need your band. So if you have a closed loop band like I do, perfect. If you don't and you just have a TheraBand, that's also fine. So if you have a loop band like this, you're just going to hold the 2 ends, otherwise with the TheraBand also holding the 2 ends. And you're going to stand over the middle of your band. Again, we're going to start off with the bent over row. So in this position, you want your back nice and straight, so core is engaged for this position, and then bending over as far as you can, but keeping that back straight. So if you can only get to there, keeping your back straight, and as soon as you go past that, your back round, you only go to wherever you can while keeping your back straight. Okay, and then you've got a slight bend in the knees, and then from there, keeping that neutral spine, you're rowing up with against the resistance of the band, palms facing in, and elbows tucked in. Okay, and you're pulling towards your ribs. So if I have to show you from a front view, you want to keep your elbows tucked in like that and not pull the elbows out to the side. Okay, so we are doing 10 of those. Okay, back nice and straight, and 10 rows. Good. Okay, then we're going to move over to a good morning, but it's going to be band resisted. So this is going to be working on our glutes and hamstrings. So you're going to stand in or with your feet in the band. Okay, if you have a closed loop band like me, then you've either got the option of pulling the band up and holding it in between you like that. So holding it with both arms, elbows tucked in. Okay, this you do with the normal TheraBand as well. Otherwise, you can also pop this over your back so that it rests just on the top of your shoulders. Make sure it's not resting in your neck. Okay, so So, for those two options, whether you're holding the band here or the band looped over your back, slight bend in the knee, and then you're allowing yourself to bend forward at the hips, so you can see that my knees are still slightly bent. I'm not bending anymore at the hips, or at the knees, sorry. And then from there, using the glutes and hamstrings to stand up and squeeze against the resistance of the band. Okay, so you're going to do 10 of those as well. Make sure the back stays nice and straight. And last one. Good. Okay, and then last exercise, we don't need the band. You're going to be in a plank position. Okay, high plank position on your hands, and then from there, we're going to be doing alternating leg raises. So squeezing glutes and hamstrings just to lift the leg off the floor slightly. Okay, main thing here, you don't want the hips to roll around while you're in that position, so keep them nice and still. And we're doing 8 per leg over here. Good. Okay, have a sip of water, and we're going to do 3 sets in total, so you've got 2 more sets to go. Okay, and you can start these when you're ready. Starting with the bent over row is the first exercise. Okay, remember back straight, core engaged, and you want those glutes engaged as well to protect the lower back. Good. Okay, then into your good morning. I'm going to do it as if my band was a TheraBand, so holding between the arms now, or in the hands. Okay, and remember you want the elbows tucked in, but don't let your shoulders crunch up to your ears. Keep those shoulders down. Okay, 10 of these. And 10. Okay, and then down to the floor for our plank. We'll be doing 8 per leg. Good. Okay, sip of water and then we've got our last set. Okay, starting off with those bent over rows. Okay, 10 of these. Keep that back nice and straight. Good. And then into your good morning. Yeah, I'm going to do it over my neck again, or shoulders at least. Okay, 10 of these. Remember driving through the glutes and hamstrings to stand back up. Good. Okay, and then last set is our plank with the leg raises. You're doing 8 per side. Good. Okay, grab a sip of water and then I'm going to explain the third set to you. It's going to be a bit of a shorter set. And then we've got one last bit of conditioning at the end. Okay, so you need your band again for the set. Okay, so for the first exercise, we're going to be doing a lateral lunge. So it's going to be targeting our kind of adductors and abductors. So from this position, you're lunging out to the side, and then the leg that you've just stepped onto, bending that leg and pushing your weight back from that one. Okay, make sure that the knee stays behind the toes, back stays nice and straight, and you're pushing hips backwards, and then pushing your weight off that leg again and stepping back. Okay, so if I show you from the side, stepping out to the side, pushing hips backwards as you go down into that lunge. Okay, so we're doing 6 per leg of these. Let's get started. And 6. Okay, then you're going to grab your band and we're going to do external rotations at the shoulder. So holding onto your band, you've got options of having palms facing up, palms facing down, or palms facing each other. I'm going to do it palms facing up. You want to keep your elbows touching the side of your body the whole time. Okay, and then shoulders are pulled down from the ears. So if you struggle and you find that your elbows start lifting, what you can do is just pop your towel in between the one side, and you'll feel as soon as your elbows start lifting, your towel will fall. So just focus on keeping that towel hooked in. Okay, we're doing 8 of these. Okay, you can see it doesn't have to be a big movement, and you want to try and keep those wrists nice and stiff. Good. Okay, and then last exercise, we're going to be in a low plank position, doing a hacksaw plank. So just moving, rocking forwards and backwards, also only doing 8. Good. Okay, into our lateral lunges again. 6 per side. Okay, then getting your band for the external rotations. 8 of these. Remember, you want to keep those elbows tucked in the whole time. Good. Okay, and then into our low plank for the hacksaw plank. Good. Okay, last set quickly. Grab a sip of water and then start it when you're ready. I'm going to go straight into it. Six per leg. Good. Okay, then your bands for the external rotations. And last one, your hacksaw plank. Seven and 8. Good. Okay, grab some water. We've got one last set to finish off with, and it's a conditioning set. You don't need any equipment. Okay, so for the set, we're going to be doing 3 sets of it, and you want to try and go through it as quickly as possible, so try not to take too much of a rest in between. But even though you're doing it quickly, you're still doing the exercises with control. Okay, so you don't want to lose form or technique while you're going through. So the first one, we're doing squat jumps. So you're going to have your hands touching each other on top of each other and reaching down to touch the floor in your squat and then jumping up like that. Okay, so kind of imagine yourself pushing off the wall after you've done a tumble turn. Okay, so doing 10 squat jumps and then into your plank position, high plank position with the hands under the shoulders. You're going to keep your hips nice and low, and you're doing 10 plank jacks, jumping out and in with the feet. Okay, note that you're not doing your plank jacks like that. It's just small hops, keeping the hips nice and low and as still as possible. Okay, so you've got 3 sets, 10 squat jumps, 10 plank jacks, with as little rest in between as you can. Okay, let's get started. Okay, into your squat jumps. And straight into your plank jacks. Good. Up into your last set. Okay, and last set of a plank jack. And we're done. Good job. Okay, roll onto your back for a stretch. Okay, and you're just going to have legs extended, arms extended, striking into a good rhythm of breathing again. And take nice deep breaths. Okay, and then bring one knee into your chest. Okay, and then straighten that leg, keep the toes curled back. Yeah, then you're going to take that straight leg across your body, arms out to the side, keep both shoulders on the floor. Okay, and then you're going to pop that right ankle onto the left knee and pull into your figure 4 glute stretch. Okay, other side, so pulling your knee into the chest first. Okay, and then straighten the leg, toes curled back. Okay, then you can take that leg across your body, arms out to the side for support and keeping the shoulders on the floor. Okay, then cross that left ankle onto the right knee and pull your knee in for the figure 4 glute stretch. Okay, and you can roll over onto your front. And you're going to go up into that pike position, stretch the shoulders out, pull your heels down to the floor so you can feel that stretch in your calves. Okay, and then pop the knees down, you're going to sit back into your child's pose and just hold this position. nice and slow. Cool, that's us done for the day. Well done, guys. Thanks so much for joining. I will be, I'll see you again next week, Friday, for the swimming class again, but please join on Monday. So enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you.